Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca. I am documenting my journey from debt to financial independence on YouTube. Welcome if you're new, like and subscribe. Today's topic is going to be the why of FIRE. I have my notes down here if you see me looking down, but I may need to break this up into two videos. I'm going to try to get through it in one. But if you're like me, then you sort of discovered the world of personal finance through Dave Ramsey. And don't get me wrong, I love Dave Ramsey, but in that camp, the emphasis is placed on debt freedom more so than financial independence, I think. That baby step 2 takes front and center, and people talk about their debt-free journeys and the debt-free community, and don't get me wrong, I mean, debt freedom is important, and that is definitely a goal that I'm working towards, but it's not the end-all be-all. Even on his show, people come on there and scream, I'm debt-free, but what comes after baby step 7? Baby step 7 is build wealth and give, but in the book, he doesn't really go very far into that as far as the how. And for Dave Ramsey, it's they talk about know your why. Why do you want to be debt free? Know your why. And I used to ask myself that, and I'm like, well, the obvious reason is so that I would have more cash flow month to month, have a little more money to work with, but why do you want to be debt free? Once I discovered financial independence, I kind of realized that I was asking myself the wrong question. It's not why do you want to be debt free, it's why do you want to be financially independent? When I discovered financial independence and that whole world, I think Jonathan in the Choose FI podcast put it the best in one of the episodes that they have. I'm still working my way through all of their episodes, and I can't remember which one it is, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said when you discover financial independence, it's like you've woken up from the Matrix and you can't unsee what you've seen. And that is exactly the way that I felt about it. The more I discovered this financially independent community and learned, I just kept nodding my head like, oh my gosh, yes, this is what I've been looking for. This is what the end goal is, not debt freedom, but financial independence. You can be debt free. You can have zero debt, not owe a penny to anyone, but have zero money saved and still, have to go to work the next day because, you got to eat. So financial independence is what's important here, not just debt freedom. And just the very, very basic principle behind being financially independent, I'm going to link a video in the description box down below, one of Wisdom Phi's videos that explains this 4% rule a lot better than I can, but very basically, the 4% rule is if you can calculate what your expenses are every year, your expenses, not your income, and multiply that by 25, then that will give you a number, and that number will be how much you need to be financially independent, because if you have that amount invested, then you can withdraw 4% every year and live off of your investment indefinitely. Sorry, I've got my door shut and the dogs are trying to get in here because they can hear me. Anyway, that's a very, very basic 4% rule. Like I said, I'll link a video below that explains it a lot better than I can, but it's really simple. I'm also going to link the Mr. Money Mustache article about the shockingly simple math behind early retirement, and he explains in that video, now that you've got a basic understanding of the 4% rule, it's not how much money you make, it's more how much money you can save. If you can save 70% of your income, something crazy like that, if you can save that much money and invest it, then you can be financially independent. I think it's 10 or 15 years, something like that. But yeah, I'll link that article below. It's one of his most popular articles, and Mr. Money Mustache, Pete is his name. He's actually living this. He is financially independent. I think he retired at like 20 or 32, something like that, my age. Yeah. Anyway, I'll link those videos and articles below. Go check them out. They can explain it a lot better than I can. So yeah, financial independence is greater than debt freedom. And if you're in the Dave Ramsey camp, I would encourage you to just keep an open mind that there are other ways of thinking out there that may help you along your journey and help you stick to it. Because even though I'm in baby step 2 right now, trying to get out of debt, the end goal is financial independence. If I finally make it out of consumer debt and I finally work really hard and get this house paid off early, then what? I see a lot of financial YouTubers out there who are debt free, and I mean, I'm not trying to judge. Everybody can live their own life, of course, but they do let the lifestyle creep come in. They raise their amount of spending money and amount of eating out money, and it's hundreds of dollars every month. But and you deserve to do that for sure. You've gotten debt free and you can live your own life. But I think these people that are in the Dave Ramsey camp that do that, I think maybe they don't realize, the full extent of the choice that they're making. If they would instead invest that money, then, they could be more than just debt free. They could be financially independent in a few years. So something to think about. So yeah, getting back to, the why of becoming debt free, I realized that was the wrong question to ask. I needed to realize, what is my why for becoming financially independent? What is your why? What would you do if you didn't have to go to work every day? What is most important to you in your life? I think most people would say, time spent with family, time to just enjoy life, do the things that you want to do every day and not be tied down by debt or by a job that you may or may not enjoy. But their actions go against that. People go to work every day and pay their debts, pay their bills, and run on the hamster wheel. They talk about the hamster wheel on the Choose FI podcast because they don't know any other option. But you can get off the hamster wheel. If you can get out of debt, you can save even half of your income, invest it, then you can reach financial independence and retire early and have the time to do the things that you want to do instead of doing the things that you have to do. You have to get up every day and go to work to pay the bills. What if you didn't have the bills? What if you didn't have a home that was, strapping you down with debt, that was putting you way above your means of what you're able to pay every month to live in it? What if you didn't have a giant car or all of these toys that people get, just to have so they can enjoy maybe once or twice a year? To be honest, my husband and I were thinking about getting an RV for a while before I discovered this whole financial independence community. And honestly, it is something we would enjoy to have. We would take it down to the beach and use it to fish with, and it would be lots of fun. But when I took a step back and thought about it, honestly, right now, because we both do have to work, that's the return on investment of that would not be worth it. And we would only be able to use it once or twice a year at most. And to have such a large purchase like that, just sitting outside in the driveway, not getting used, and us having to worry over it, make payments on it, make, insurance payments on it, keep it well kept. It's just something else to spend money on and worry over. Honestly, we could rent an RV if we wanted to, and that would probably be a lot easier than owning one. But yeah, that's just an example. If you really thought about, in your situation, the level of debt that you have, what if that debt was gone? How much then would you need to live on annually? I think you'd be surprised by how low the number actually is. So, yes, debt freedom is important, but it's not the end goal. Financial independence is the end goal. And what it looks like for me when I'm financially independent, I am going to visualize it. It sounds new agey, but what does being financially independent look like? I'm going to be sitting on my front patio. I'm going to be watching the leaves change. I live in the Blue Ridge Mountains, so every year I get to watch the leaves change, and every year I think how pretty they are as I'm driving to work, looking at them on the side of the road. Don't want to do that in the future. In the future, I'm going to sit and enjoy my coffee on the front patio, watch the leaves change. What does it sound like? It's going to sound like wind blowing through the pine trees. I think that's something that the vast majority of people have not actually heard before. If you've ever heard wind blowing through the pine trees and there's no other sound, no other traffic noises, phone noises, TV, whatever the distractions may be, it's really peaceful. It recharges your soul. What does it smell like? I'm going to smell those autumn leaves. What does it taste like? Pumpkin spice everything. Yes, I'm basic. I do enjoy pumpkin spice. Maybe my coffee will have pumpkin spice in it. But yeah, it doesn't take a lot to, make me happy. That's what my financial independent life looks like. I'm just going to enjoy all of the beautiful sights and sounds around me that I can't do right now because I have to go to work. So what does it look like for you? Let me know down below. And if you like videos like this, then consider subscribing to see more in the future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.